Teresa. Doon tayo sasakay kasi mura doon eh, 42 lang. Yan, 47. Yung boat ride ba, 42 lang. Doon, 47. Dali. Dito. We're going to have a architectural river tour in Chicago. Adult 43. That's our boat. Baba man ko.
Chicago lakefront, where we will see the centerpiece of the city's beautiful 17-mile stretch of continuous shoreline parks, public attractions, and residential neighborhoods, including a bike path right on the waterline along one of the most open and publicly accessible city shorelines in the world, situated here at the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan. As we tour the lake shore, we'll have a view of some of America's tallest and most distinguished buildings. You will learn the historical context in which the city and the lakefront have developed, and briefly survey the ecology of Lake Michigan itself. Welcome to Chicago, the Windy City, the second city, city of big shoulders, city in a garden, city by the lake, the city that works. It's America's third largest city in terms of population after New York and Los Angeles, with a current population of 2.7 million people in the city limits and about 9 million in the metropolitan area. We begin our tour at Navy Pier. Completed in 1916 as Municipal Pier Number 1, it was renamed Navy Pier in honor of naval veterans of World War I. It is now a popular recreational center, and along with Millennium Park, it's one of the top cultural attractions in Illinois, averaging over 9 million visitors every year. Attractions include the Children's Museum, the Chicago Shakespeare Theater, the Sable Hotel, dining, shopping, an amusement park, concert halls, convention space, bars, ballrooms, and of course, boat rides. One of the most prominent attractions at the pier is the Ferris wheel, called the Centennial Wheel, because it opened on the 100th anniversary of Navy Pier in 2016. This is a new model, the DW60, designed and constructed by Dutch Wheels, the Netherlands-based company that built the Pier's first wheel, considered the world's top designer and manufacturer of Ferris wheels. The state-of-the-art DW60 is the first and only one of its kind in the United States. Significant features include tube-sided enclosed cars that allow for easy loading and unloading, a fortified structure to withstand winds of 115 miles an hour, and safety glass capable of weathering intense storms. The original Ferris wheel was relocated to Branson, Missouri in 2016 and is still used there today. The very first Ferris wheel ever debuted here in Chicago in 1893 at the World's Fair, also known as the Lawrence Columbian Exposition. Designed by a bridge builder named George Washington Ferris, it was Chicago's response to the Paris World's Fair. Mr. Ferris gave Chicago and the world a moving Italian. During the Second World War, Navy Pier was an active naval training base where pilots were trained for aircraft carriers. Trainees included the first President Bush. After the Second World War, it became the campus of the University of Illinois at Chicago into the 1960s, when it was a working commercial pier, which later fell into disuse. The present configuration opened as a cultural attraction in 1993. It was updated once more in 2015. We are heading out on the southwest corner of the Great Lake, Michigan, one of the 5 Great Lakes and the largest body of fresh water in the continental United States. The Great Lakes comprise 20% of the world's liquid fresh water. The name Michigan is believed to come from the Ojibwa word Michigani, meaning great water. The lake itself was formed along with the other 4 Great Lakes by glaciers receding northward after the end of the last ice age about 10,000 years ago. The average depth of the lake is 279 feet, with a maximum depth of 923 feet. The average depth this close to shore is about 25 feet. The lake is 307 miles long from north to south and 118 miles wide at its widest point. It is just slightly smaller than the U.S. state of West Virginia or the country of Ireland. The distance from the shoreline here straight east to the state of Michigan is about 60 miles. Lake Michigan's deepest section, which lies in its northern half, is called the Chippewa Basin, named after the Creole War, and in diameter from 10 to 20 feet. Lake water enters the cribs and flows through these tunnels to pumps at the world's largest purification plant just north of Navy Pier. The Jardine Water Purification Plant began functioning in 1968. Shortly thereafter, the Ohio State Water Authority created on the plant. Together, the Eugene Sawyer Water Purification Plant. To the west is a trapezoid-shaped skyscraper of black glass and steel, which narrows as it rises with X-like cross-bracing on the side. This is 875 North Michigan Avenue, although many Chicagoans continue to call it by its original name, the John Hancock Center. The crisscross bracing on the side of the building adds structural integrity and minimizes the need for large girders inside the structure. Like the Willis Tower and the Trump International Hotel and Tower, it was designed by the world-famous Chicago-based firm Skidmore, Owings & Merrill, who continue to specialize in the world's tallest buildings, including the current world's tallest, the Burj Khalifa Tower in Dubai. The John Hancock Center was completed in 1969. 875 North Michigan Avenue also includes an observatory on the 94th floor called 360 Chicago. The elevators to 360 Chicago are considered to be the fastest elevators in the Western Hemisphere, with a top speed of 20.5 miles per hour. 360 Chicago also includes the T-Belt, a pier railroad on the south side of Michigan's current location in 1919, situated to direct slightly illuminated. At its debut in 1990, the 5 cylinders on top were lit by fluorescent tubes. These have since been replaced by LED lights, which allow the bulbs to be dimmed or changed in color for holidays and special events. For a complete detailed tour of Chicago's world-famous downtown architecture, Shoreline Sightseeing offers 75-minute Chicago River architecture tours from February through December. Visit our box office for more information or visit shorelinesightseeing.com. Of the visible skyline in the northern corner of Grant Park is a striking tower with a distinctive diamond-shaped roof. Now called the Crane Communications Building, it was completed in 1984 and designed by A. Epstein and Sons. Upon completion, developers discovered that ice would form on the slanted roof and break off and fall onto the sidewalk below. Heating pipes had to be installed to melt the ice and prevent accidents. The building became well known for its use in the climax scene of the classic Chicago film Adventures in Babysitting. The city's 17-mile shoreline park system was inspired by architect Daniel Burnham's city plan of 1909, in which he pledged that the city would keep its original promise that the lakefront should remain forever open, free, and clear, so that all citizens could enjoy the beautiful lake shore without interference from industrial development. Since the 1830s, the official motto of Chicago has been Urbs in Horto, Latin for city in a garden, for its commitment to green space and parkland. Chicago has 4 major lakefront parks: Lincoln Park, Grant Park, Burnham Park, and Jackson Park. Lincoln Park on the north side is Chicago's largest park, visited by over 20 million people each year. It is home to the Lincoln Park Zoo, one of the last free zoos in the United States. The Lincoln Park Zoo is open 365 days a year. There are 3 harbors in the downtown area. Just south of Navy Pier is DuSable Harbor, named for the first permanent non-native resident, the fur trader Jean-Baptiste DuSable. South of DuSable is Monroe Harbor, named for the 5th President of the United States, James Monroe. South of Museum Campus is Burnham Harbor, named after the famed Chicago architect and city planner Daniel Burnham. Part of the visible shoreline is in fact landfill, which has been built out into the relatively shallow lakefront starting after the Great Chicago Fire of 1871. The burned out remains of the downtown were dumped into the lake, creating the base for today's lakefront parks. The landfill does not consist of domestic trash, but is mostly soil, sand, and construction debris. Michigan Avenue represents the original natural shoreline of Lake Michigan. Chicago's Museum Campus is a 57-acre addition to Grant Park's southeastern end. Museum Campus is the site of 3 of the city's most notable museums, all dedicated to the natural sciences: the Adler Planetarium, the Shedd Aquarium, and the Field Museum of Natural History. The Field Museum was established with a generous grant from the family of Chicago retailer Marshall Fields and includes Sue, the largest and most complete Tyrannosaurus rex yet discovered. A narrow isthmus along Solidarity Drive connects Northerly Island to the rest of Museum Campus situated on the mainland. The dome-shaped structure out on the tip of Northerly Island is the Adler Planetarium. It houses the Down Observatory, one of the only research-active urban observatories open to the public. Beyond Museum Campus to the south is Soldier Field, home of the 1986 Super Bowl champion Chicago Bears football team. Opened in 1924 as Municipal Grant Park Stadium, it was renamed Soldier Field in honor of Army veterans of World War I. Soldier Field has served as the home venue for a number of other sports teams throughout history, including the Chicago Cardinals of the NFL, the University of Notre Dame football team, and the Chicago Fire of Major League Soccer. Soldier Field has also hosted games from the 19 Chicago Cardinals used it as their home field for their final football season in Chicago in 1959. A dozen years later, in September of 1971, the Chicago Bears moved in. They previously played at Wrigley Field, best known as the home of the Chicago Cubs. The interior of the stadium underwent extensive renovation in 2002. Soldier Field is the oldest NFL stadium in the United States. In 1893, Chicago played host to the World's Columbian Exposition, a world fair to commemorate Columbus's arrival in the Western Hemisphere. The fair took place on the south shore of Lake Michigan at what is now Jackson Park. This is where the fair's chief designer, Daniel Burnham, designed the White City campus for the center of the fair to resemble an ancient Greek or Roman city. But Burnham had a rival also designing for the fair, Louis Sullivan. Sullivan thought that Burnham was old-fashioned and encouraged his peers to use contemporary engineering and themes taken from nature and the surrounding prairie. Ultimately, both Burnham and Sullivan were to have a lasting influence on the Chicago skyline. The centerpiece of Grant Park is Buckingham Fountain, one of the world's largest fountains. The fountain, in a Rococo wedding cake style, was dedicated in 1927 as a gift for converted to ready young pilots for the new technology of aircraft carriers. As a result, the lake bottom is littered with planes who missed the boat. Since this is a freshwater lake, the planes do not deteriorate to the extent they would in salt water. Thus, the Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida, often retrieves these wrecks, which are more easily restored for museum display. Our way back to our dock at Navy Pier, we'd like to thank you for riding with us today. Shoreline Sightseeing also offers award-winning 75-minute architecture river tours down all three branches of the Chicago River, as well as water taxi service from the Willis Tower and Union Station, Michigan Avenue, and Museum Campus. See our ticket booth for more information or visit shorelinesightseeing.com. Come back and visit us again real soon and enjoy Chicago.